Welcome on board motor tanker Alexander. I am Alex Sebastian and I am currently in Atlantic Ocean. It's kind of very rough and I would like to show you guys how rough it is, okay? Before starting the video. और प्रकाश कैसे हो? Really rough. Okay, look at this. It was very rough. It is very rough. Right now I am in Atlantic Ocean and let's start this video. So, hi guys and welcome to ECR, Engine Control Room. Okay, so this video is going to be about the tour of the engine room. It's not going to be any random tour. I'm going to give you a proper tour explaining you each and every machinery and its basic principles so that you might get an idea about what it is like to be in an engine room. Okay, and one more thing, I'm going to explain you what are the critical equipments, what are the machineries that are needed for the ship to run properly and how do we monitor it. Okay, so this video might be too long, but if it is too long I'm going to break it down into two parts. Okay, so you'll get that you'll get to know that when I upload it. Okay, and I'm really sorry for not uploading anything in the last 6 months, I guess 8 months, yeah. So as you can see that I'm already on the ship and I joined pretty fast. Okay, anyways, today is 31st December 2023, last day of the year, and I have some work pending. So we have month end and yearly and quarterly together, and we have a monthly routine to catch up with. So I'm just going to finish my work and after that I'm going to take you around with me and show you about the engine room. So let's just complete the work as soon as possible and then we are free to go. Okay, so I'm just going to complete my work and once I'm done with the work we'll go out. Of the year, and we have been planning a party. Usually there is a party on the ship for New Year's and I have to get ready. See you at the party. So right now I'm going to take you into Galley. So people are cooking for the New Year's. Now as this video is going to be about the engine room, so I'm not going to add any kind of party stuff in it, but if you guys want to see how it is, how a party of a ship is like, comment down below that I want to see a party and I'll be making a vlog about that too. So let's begin with the video. Beginning with the tour, I'm going to start from the funnel deck. Okay, that is the topmost part of the engine room, and then I'm going to climb down explaining you each and every deck of the engine room. Okay, so before beginning this video, let me explain you something. So engine room is a noisy place, so without earmuff you cannot survive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute the sound around me and you might have already got the idea about how the sound is like outside. Anyways, so without wasting any further time, let's just go and let me just give you a very good tour of the engine room. And welcome to ECR again. I like to say that very much. Okay, so let's go. Just to give you an idea about the sound, I'm going to open this door. It's already written over here, warning high noise levels, use ear protectors. So this is how it will sound. And it will get even louder if we go near the generator. So yeah, earmuff is compulsory. Not necessary, it is compulsory. Otherwise, in a few years, you will be losing your hearing. Now this is the topmost deck of the engine room, the funnel deck. We have main engine economizer or exhaust gas boiler, and we also have generators exhaust gas boilers over there. Now what I'm showing you over here is nothing but the funnel flaps, which we are going to try out in a minute or so. Okay, on this deck basically we have all the exhaust gas boilers that are, we have 3 generators on board, so we have 3 EGBs, and we have a big EGB for main engine. Okay, now these are nothing but the lifting devices for safety valve of the EGB. Okay, so you can manually open the safety valve in case of excessive pressure rise. Now these economizers are for generators, and the big ass economizer that you see in front of me is nothing but the main engine's economizer. Yeah, so during rounds we have to come up here, and then we have to check the temperatures and the pressure drop across these boilers. Now the pressure drop indicates the condition of the tubes. The tubes can be very dirty if the pressure drop is too high, so we need to monitor it carefully. Okay, so yes, now this exhaust gas boiler is nothing but a waste heat recovery system which uses high temperature exhaust gases to produce steam, and then the steam is used for various applications. Now coming on to the funnel deck, this is the topmost part of the engine room. So I'm just going to show you outside how at what height this deck is situated. Okay, and outside you're going to see sea obviously, and just a beautiful view. That's it. So here it is. We are situated at the top of the ship right now. The top is the monkey island, which is above the bridge, but yeah, this is the topmost part of the engine room, and this is the view you get when you open the door. It is always good to see sea. It makes me calm. Okay, coming back inside and closing the door, and now we are, let me just show you first what all safety devices or what all things are present on this little deck over here. Now what you see on the left is nothing but the boiler's exhaust pipe, boiler number 1 exhaust pipe, and this is the main engine's EGB's outlet valve. You can hear the valve taper a little bit. Now we have silencers for generators, and which are installed on the exhaust pipe obviously. Now in case if there's a fire in one of these silencers, we have a safety system, CO2 extinguishing system, so it will smother out the fire, and just a safety device installed over here. I'll be explaining you that how to operate it, okay, in the later part of this video. Now let's just go up and try out the funnel flaps. Okay, so for that we need to climb out this ladder. Now the thumb rule of climbing any ladder is to maintain 3-point contact. Okay, so now let me just show you the view outside. Now you can see that is the aft of the ship, and approximately we are at the height of 14 meters. Yeah, the height of 14 meters. I'll give you the exact figure in the video itself. Okay, now what you see over here is nothing but the exhaust pipes for various machineries. Now we have 3 exhaust pipes over here. You can see that this one is for the main engine, and these 2 are for boilers, that is boiler number 2. Okay, you can see that exhaust pipe is going to the boiler, and this is boiler number 1's exhaust pipe. Okay, and moving towards the forward part, we have 3 generators exhaust pipe with silencers, and we have a small exhaust pipe over there that is for incinerator. All right, now let's move on in trying out the funnel flaps. Now what you see over here is the pneumatic cylinder which is going to be operating the flaps. Okay, and we have a small valve which is kept in open position so that the flaps are open. Now as soon as you cut off the air supply, the flaps are going to close. Now the requirement of the flaps is such that once it is closed, no light should be passing through the gaps of the flap. Okay, so that is the requirement. Now let's try out the flap. Okay, you need to try out one flap at a time, because engine room is always pressurized, and if you close both, there's no way that the air is going to pass through. So try one flap at a time, and as soon as I close it, it's going to as soon as I cut off the air supply, the flaps are going to close. That's how the flap closes. Now as you can see, there is no light coming through the gaps, through the horizontal gaps between the flaps. That means these flaps are working fine. Okay, now let's test the other one. All right, now I'm just going to close the air supply for these flaps as well. Okay, here we go. Now as you can see that there's a small gap, as I can see the light. That means I have to fix that, which I did. Okay, and just to show you how the mechanism of the pneumatic cylinder is, as soon as I open it, the pneumatic cylinder is going to retract and the flaps are going to open. Okay, so this is how it is. This is how the flaps are operated, and that's a small hatch to go on outside and check the flaps. All right, now let's go down and check the other decks. Okay, so this was the topmost part of the engine room. So now there's one more room which I missed, which is situated on the Economizer platform. It's called the blower room. Now what I'm going to show you over here is nothing but the blower room of the engine room. Now blowers are responsible for keeping the engine room pressurized and always under positive pressure. Now this is the starboard side room, which contains 2 blowers, and the port side room contains 2 more blowers. So we have total of 4 blowers. Okay, and as you can see that the door is closing on its own. It's due to the vacuum inside that the blowers are creating. Okay, as you can see that this is number 1 blower, and we have number 3 blower on this side. Now what you can see on my left is nothing but the recirculation flap, and on to my right is the atmospheric side suction. It is taking air from outside and it is going to the engine room. There's a tunnel below the blower. Now it's sucking and it's going to the blower room. Now let's just try out the recirculation flaps first. It's the same mechanism as the funnel flaps. As soon as I open the air supply, the flaps opens, and now the blower is taking suction from the engine room. Now what is going on with the recirculation flaps is that usually ships will not have these flaps. As this is a nice class ship, we have recirculation flaps because the temperature outside can reach or can go below 0 degree. So we don't want engine room to be very cold, and it is not good for the machinery. So we have recirculation flaps. So we open these flaps so that the air is recirculated and the temperature is maintained. Now to try out the blower, we need to make sure that what state the blower is running in. So right now this blower is running in forward state. I'm going to cut off the power to this blower and I'm going to test it out. So I'll just stop the blower. Okay, now I'll wait for a few seconds, maybe like 5 to 10 seconds. As the blower is stopped, I'm going to try out the flaps. Now you can see that there's a pneumatic cylinder, and the flaps are right now in open condition, obviously. Now I'm going to close the flaps. So this is just an indication that when I close it, this lever is going to come down and rest on the angle that is given over there. Okay, and there's a, as you can see that the lever is connected to the shaft, which inside there's a flaps, and the pneumatic cylinder pushes the flaps and the flaps are now closed. You can see that there should be no gap between the lever and the angle for the support. As you can see that the flap is closed, and this is how we test the blow flaps. It should be closed. If it is not closing, it's a failure and we might have a problem. Inspection is not going to pass if it's not closing. Okay, this is how you test the blow flaps, and this is how you test for all the blow flaps. Okay, it is very important for the blower to be running in forward because it is providing air to the engine room. If you start it in reverse, it will be sucking out air from the engine room. Now one more thing that I missed on this deck is nothing but the IG uptake valve. Now these 2 pipes are exhaust pipes for boilers, and these 2 are tapping given to the IG plant, which leads the exhaust gas to the IG plant. Now this is nothing but the IG uptake valve, and which is electronically controlled and pneumatically actuated. This is also the same valve which is for number 1 boiler, and that was for number 2 boiler. Alright, so this is what I wanted to tell you. And yeah, one more thing, another thing that I missed on the upper deck, the funnel deck, is nothing but there's a spare IG blower, and there are smoke detector sensors for boilers. Now these smoke detector sensors are nothing but they will tell you whether the exhaust is having a black smoke or not. It's nothing special. There's a laser emitted, there's a transmitter and a receiver. So transmitter transmits a laser at a particular intensity and the receiver receives it. As the smoke is clear, the laser is passing through and through. There's no drop in the intensity of the light laser. As the black smoke comes, the laser intensity drops and you get a value which indicates that there's a black smoke. Okay, now there's one more thing that I wanted to show you. It's nothing but the ceiling fan given to the transmitter and the receiver. What it does is it provides clean air to the transmitter and receiver and doesn't allow the exhaust gas to come out. So its main function is to provide a ceiling a bit or a barrier so that the exhaust gas doesn't come out. Okay, and what you're looking at over here is nothing but a drain chamber. So this pipe is connected to the funnel which is exposed to the atmosphere, the uppermost part. It drains out and drains to this chamber and then it goes to the outside weather deck. Okay, so now let's move on to the next deck. Now on this deck we will find economizers and we will also find the IG blowers. Okay, so the rest of the economizers, you just on the previous deck what you saw was the top of the economizers and these are nothing but the rest of the economizers. Okay, so over here as you can see, this is the economizer for generator number 3 and that is generator number 2 economizer, and the other one is nothing but the generator number 1's economizer. All right, so you have 3 economizers over here and also you have a main engine's economizer, and this is nothing but the manhole cover which is used while cleaning the EGB for the main engine. Also this is the exhaust pipe coming out from the main engine. It goes over here and then it goes further to the EGB. Now this is provided so that the water doesn't go to the turbocharger while washing, or the rainwater if it comes in doesn't go to the turbocharger. There's a drain pipe as you can see, that drain is open when cleaning is carried out, and once the cleaning is done the drain is closed. Now this is nothing but the mechanism for oxygen analyzer for IG plant. These two are nothing but the IG blowers, okay, and which are responsible for taking the IG to the cargo tanks. All right, now we have 2 blowers. These are the starter panels for individual blowers, and this is nothing but the oxygen analyzer. As you can see over here we have got the span and zero gas meter and calibrator. Okay, and this is the sample selector. Whichever blower is running we'll have to put it on that, so it will take suction from there. Plus this is used to calibrate, nothing else. This is the O2 analyzer. We have 2 O2 analyzers. One is for blower number 1 and this for blower number 2. It doesn't matter whatever you select, there's a line that needs to be configured. Now let's move on further. What you're looking at now is the scrubber tower, what I just pointed at, and this is the exhaust that is coming to the scrubber tower, which is going in. Its exhaust is getting washed out and the IG blowers are then taking suction and then it is going to the cargo tanks. All right. Okay, so now let's move on forward, and next on the list is nothing but the IG top-up generator. As the name suggests that it is a top-up generator, it's a small quantity exhaust gas producing generator. Okay, so this is the compressed air providing machine known as compressor, and this is the sounding pipe for waste oil settling tank which is situated right below me. Okay, so this is the control panel for IG generator, and it's right now stopped. Okay, there's nothing special in the IG generator. IG generator has a burner which uses fuel to provide exhaust gas, and that's it. Yeah, technically it is that much only. Now next is very important device which is known as O2 analyzer. This is the exhaust pipe for boiler number 1 and that is the exhaust pipe for boiler number 2. These both boilers have oxygen analyzer sensors, which is very important. If it gets spoiled, then there will be a problem in the cargo IG plant because the oxygen content will not be monitored. As you can see that this boiler has been stopped and the oxygen content in the exhaust pipe is 20.91. all right, so this is nothing but the oxygen analyzer which is responsible to maintain the oxygen at the exhaust side of the boiler. All right, now let's move on further on this deck. Now what you see over here is nothing but the CO2 package system for generator economizers, generator number 1, 2 and 3 economizers. Okay, so in case if there's a fire in one of these generators, you have a CO2 extinguishing system which is responsible to extinguish the fire. it will definitely smother out the fire. And you can see that you break the thing, you take the key, you open the handle, and there is a nitrogen bottles. There are nitrogen bottles inside, which is responsible to actuate the CO2 bottles which are situated inside. Once the CO2 pressure, you have the CO2 pressure, you actuate this valve, and whichsoever generators economizer has a fire, you can pull the valve, you can open the valve, and the CO2 will go to that valve, go to that particular device. Okay, now this is another my baby, and I've signed it. I'm just checking it out. Okay, so yeah, okay, so this is something that you need to take a note of, which is very important. This is nothing but the local firefighting system, also known as the water mist. This is a local switch for inert gas generator, IGG. I can start and stop it from here manually. As soon as I start that switch, the pump, the water mist pump gets started, and there will be a spray from that particular blue nozzle which I'm pointing at. There are two sensors given on the top of the IG generator, smoke and flame, which is responsible for starting the system automatically in case of fire. There's a smoke detector symbol given over there. Okay, we will be seeing this at many places in the engine room. For now, this is the deck, and now I'm going to go down and check the other decks.
DWTS ने लगा के रखी है भाई.
Okay.